Hey guys, I'm back. I wanted to do an update video on where I am in the 100-day thing, and not that far along at all. I'm just doing the whole vegan diet still, which I'll talk about in a second, and I'm still trying not to smoke cigarettes. I wish I never started smoking because it's the hardest thing in the world for me to drop, and it certainly doesn't make me as sick as the benzo withdrawal, but it's like this nagging feeling. Like I never craved benzos. I just got violently sick when I stopped. And now with these, I crave them. I dream about them, and I go off the patch. I go back on the patch. I'm on the last dose of the patch. I go back up to the second step of the patch. I'm back down. I take the patch off. And it's like it's hard because I feel really crappy when I don't have nicotine, like extremely crappy. Right now, I'm not wearing the patch. But I probably will later. I'm just kind of winging it right now and just having issues with the whole cigarette thing. So I'll update you eventually on all that. The vegan diet, very interesting thing. I have been doing it now for maybe a month or maybe a little under a month, a little over. I'm not really keeping track. I forget what day I started. I can go back in my videos to find out. But I used to wake up and have, like, I thought it was from the cigarettes, okay? And when I stopped smoking, it continued. So maybe it is because I'm not sure. But when I would inhale, I'd feel like this fiberglass like ripping through my bronchial tubes. And that continued until I went vegan. And then it still was there, but it was like less than what it was. Like almost within 48 hours, it was a little bit less of a problem for me. And now I can inhale without that tingling and fiberglass feeling. So I personally think it was the dairy products because whenever I would drink milk or eat cheese, I would have a lot of problems. I was having issues anyway, even with my heart rate. If I drank whole milk, I would have like my fast heart rate, like normal, only would skyrocket for like an hour. And so it was kind of like, an issue for me. My heart rate's really fast today, actually, faster than normal. Like I said, it's been fast anyway, but the only reason why I can think of that is weather changes seem to affect my body in a very negative way. Um, and today, it had been cold for a while, like, in the 30s or whatever. And then today it's like 55 and it's raining. I looked over there because I have the temperature thing going on my computer. And it's just weird because I don't feel like it's going that fast. Like today's not a day where I'm feeling it race in my chest, but I'll show you about where it is. Let's clip this thing on and just show you guys again. So the only thing I've done since I started this 100-day thing is bought stuff online that I shouldn't have purchased because I really don't have the money for it, but it'll come in handy anyway. I've been doing the vegan diet and I've been experimenting with lots of food, different food diets. The bottom number right there, the 107, 110, 111, 113, 114, all that stuff. It's my heart rate. And as you can see, I'm not sitting here all anxious, so what the hell. So I've been doing experimentation with food. I have been, trying to eat healthier. My digestive system, I'm not bloating as much, which is good. I've been taking B12 since vegan diets don't have B12 in it. So I have the sublingual dots that I've been taking. Of course, I still take the D3 because, again, I don't get a lot of sunlight. A lot of people are like, oh, just go out in the sun. But I live up north, and in this time of, even if I was an outdoor person, it's not something that I could really get enough of in the fall and winter months in this area. And so you need to supplement it. And even if you eat fish, it's just not enough B12. It's not enough B3, D3 that you're getting. And milk has D2, which is not very absorbable. So those are things you're going to want to, make sure you're getting if you're trying a vegan diet. Behind me is one of my new tapestries. I like it. It's green, which I like that color, and it's got dragonflies, and I like dragonflies. Like butterflies, but I like dragonflies as well. So I just thought I'd put that up today. I put that on before I made the video. I want to still go, and I've been saying this, like I said on Halloween, or around Halloween I was going to, My mother died in May of this year on the 17th. She had the stroke on the 16th, but died the 17th. And then I had my appendectomy, so I didn't go to the wake, to the funeral, or anything. And my mother has a gravestone now, and I know where she's located, at least in the cemetery. I don't know where in there she is. My father kind of gave me a general idea, but I haven't been there. And so it's been like 6 months since she's died. And the last memory I have of my mother was just simply, well, tell Keith good luck with his classes, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And that was it. And so it's just kind of weird. Like, I feel like I really need to go, especially before it starts snowing hardcore here. And it's just something I haven't done. Just like I haven't gone and gotten my chest x-ray yet, which I'm overdue by a whole year to have that done. When I had that cold, if you guys remember, I was coughing my head off right towards the end of it. My left side, which is my good lung, I had the surgery on the right. It started to hurt every time I inhaled, every time I coughed, if I sneezed, absolute pain. And I was pretty sure at that point it was just my rib cage irritated from, all the coughing that I was doing. And it started to go away, and it started to heal, and it started coming back, and it started to heal, and it started coming back. And last night it started to get aggravated again. And so right in this area over here, even if I push, I can feel it. But what was interesting was I noticed that it wasn't, I thought it was just the muscle, but I have some swollen glands all through here, which I had mentioned before. If I push on the rib that actually hurts between the ribs, it feels like there's a gland swollen between them now. So God only knows what's going on with that. Hopefully it's nothing. I'm going to just go to a walk-in clinic one day for the chest x-ray. I'm not even going to try to make an appointment with the idiot primary care doctor I ended up with at this point. I will show you his office, and I will videotape that on the way there because I need him to send me for the upper GI that I plan on doing. But as for the chest x-ray, I really just don't want to go there if I don't have to. And long story short, I don't want the man praying over me and everything. My parents, when my mother was still alive, just found this idiot for me when I was sick. And I was in no situation to argue or do anything. So since I had lost the primary care doctor that screamed and yelled at me, and ended up with this fool because he was cheap and I didn't have health insurance at the time, now I just kind of have him until I find someone else. And then now jumping into a whole new doctor and being like, okay, I have this, and this wrong with me. It's so complicated at this point. I don't even care. It's just, I need certain things done. And so I'm going to have the chest x-ray done, which I'm supposed to have every year anyway since 2000 when I had the lung surgery. But like I said, I had it in 2009 in May. It was fine. Going to do it soon. I guess I'm just concerned about the glands on the left side because hopefully it's not a lung issue because I already had the right lung issue problem. And then humorously in my head, I thought, well, I'll have matching scars, so I'll be symmetrical again. Just stupid stuff. And that was another thing I was going to put out there. You ever have arguments with yourself or just go out into fantasy land? I was mentioning this to a friend earlier. I was driving home from my father's house the other day. Oh, by the way, yeah, I went to my father's house and I picked up some stuff that I had ordered to go there because here it's kind of hard to put stuff between the doors. So he has the house, I can leave it on the porch. So I sent stuff. Then he had a spider plant that he takes care of. Well, my parents were taking care of. My mother actually was after I moved back from Florida because I didn't have a place to hang it outside, and it's still alive. And they had transplanted it, and now it's gigantic, and I had all these babies hanging off of it. So I was like trimming off the babies, and I took one of them home, and I'm going to try to root it and grow that in a pot and everything. Then I had this weird idea. I thought, wow, my plant's name's Greta, by the way. I just named it that because Greta Van Susteren on Fox News, she kind of has wiry hair, and this spider plant just kind of looked like Greta Van Susteren. But anyway, my idea was that I was going to grow that, but then get more of the babies off the other thing. And I thought, well, maybe some people who watch me just want a spider plant for some reason. I could just send it to you for free, and then you can have like a part of my Greta Van Susteren. So that was an idea. But the reason why I went over there is because my father's having surgery tomorrow on his eye. He has cataracts in both eyes, and they're going to do one eye tomorrow, and then I guess they'll do another eye in a month or so, or maybe 2 months once he heals. So my sister is taking him over to that. And then other than that, I think I was saying something else, but I forgot what it was. So I'm not coughing as much, which is good, but it comes and goes. Um, I think I was talking about going to a walk-in clinic. I just want to do that because of the fact that I don't have to wait. A lot of the walk-in clinics here locally, you can just go in, tell them your issue, and they'll take a chest x-ray. Unfortunately, chest x-rays don't show cancer of the lung until it's really advanced. That's only a CT scan, and I'm not about to get one of those done right now. So, I don't know. I can just do that on my own. But without anyone taking me, not much of the CT, but for like a regular chest x-ray, the upper GI I can do by myself. There's a lot of stuff I can do by myself without having to have someone there, because it's not a concern of me actually passing out from a certain procedure or just feeling too sick or getting some type of medication where I can't drive after they administer it and all that stuff. But the whole thing is I don't feel well today, and am just having, I had a past 2 days were pretty decent, but today not so much. Got the fast heart rate, got the just sick. I had ordered some silverware off of Walmart and some glasses because of the fact that we had been using plastic cups and plastic forks and spoons for a while because we don't have a dishwasher, we're lazy. But it got too expensive, so I ordered that. And I was sitting here this morning and I was just, I think it was on YouTube, and the guy was down there banging on the door because it wouldn't fit, between, so I had to go down and get it, but I had to put my jeans on, and I get down the staircase, and he gives me the boxes, I come back up the staircase, and that tightness that I get in my chest sometimes, it was so tight that I actually laid the phone on my bed in case I had to call 911. I mean, it's just, and it's not an overreaction, I usually don't do that, it was just simply, I have a lot of issues going on, I would say, probably between probably the whole colon. The whole trunk of me is weird, and it's really weird right now on my left side. I don't even know what's going on with that. Whereas I'm stiff, I have pain, I have swollen glands, I have not so much the bloating anymore with the vegan diet, but I still have cramping, I still have there's a lot of things going on. I don't necessarily sleep properly. Last night my heart started fluttering, which it does on and off anyway, and this morning I woke up, it was fluttering again, but I don't want to get into a whole bitch fest about what's going wrong, because there's a lot of stuff going right, and this diet is actually one of the right things, and I do have a plan in my head, but I gotta get a move on because it's already kind of like at least a tenth of the way into the 100-day thing, and I just want to get things done. I feel that I want to get to Florida as soon as possible, which thankfully he went from a year to 2 years because I kind of need that, but now I just wish that I had money just to go, because sitting here now and trying to meet a friend now and everything, it's just, I'm leaving. I know that I'm leaving, and I had some concerns that, what if Keith and I broke up and he left me again, I'm in Florida and I gave up this apartment. But ever since the whole Pensacola idea instead of a Panama City, I just feel better about that. Like if he left me down there, it would suck and you would see major bitching, upset, possibly crying videos from me. But I don't have anything here either. I just have my father, and when I went over there, like he was like frying an egg up, and he's never really cooked a lot in his life, and smoke detector was going off and everything. It's just like, wow, I don't have a lot really going for me socially, and I know there's a lot of people who would help me because they've either suggested or just hinted at, but if I don't feel it in me, if I don't feel it in my gut that that's the right moment to ask someone for something, I just won't do it. And it's not even being stubborn, it's just I don't want to be more uncomfortable than I already am. And so for someone to offer to take me to a doctor's appointment, if I don't really know them, or even if I know them but I haven't seen them in a long time, or maybe they're new and they could be a cool person, but it's just going to make it worse, because now I feel as if I can't break down into what I need to go through to get through this procedure, like be upset. Now I'm putting on a show to make everyone around me happy, and I don't want to do that. It's exhausting. It's better off for me just to do it, in my own time, by myself. But other than that, it's all I can think of right now, so I'm going to let you go because the video is about 15 minutes, and kind of a sucky update, I'm sorry, but that's kind of what's going on. I'll try to do a better video soon, and I just want to, let you guys know what's going on. Bye. Alright, so I was watching my video playback and I realized I started to say, did your mind ever veer off into a fantasy land? And I went sidetracked and forgot what I was saying. So really quick, I just want to touch on that. I was driving home from my father's house and I saw this woman and she was walking her dog. And I started to think, oh, if I had a dog and I was walking it, I wonder if the neighbor, not the neighbor, but the person who owned the house was on the front porch if my dog was taking a crap. Like, even if I was going to pick it up, I wonder if they'd come out and start yelling about the fact that my dog was taking a crap, right? And so then I was like, oh, well, if I was picking it up, then what's it to them? And I was thinking, well, what if my dog had like really bad diarrhea and then like he had diarrhea all over this person's lawn and then even if I tried to pick it up, it just wasn't enough. Like, what could I do if they were watching? Like, would I apologize? Or maybe if they weren't there, would I send them $5 in the mail and say, I'm so sorry, my dog had an accident. I know you're going to spray this down with your hose. It must be inconvenient for you. I just want to give you this $5. And I thought, well, is $5 enough? Maybe I should send $20 to them because after all, it was my dog and I couldn't clean up after it. And I got all wrapped up in this and I thought to myself, you don't even have a freaking dog. Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know how many of you guys do that. Like, I have arguments in my head with people sometimes. I'll be looking in the mirror and I'll be like, doing my hair or shaving and I catch myself about to speak out loud to talk back to this person that's not even there. And I think it comes from being alone a lot, to be honest. But I don't know if you guys have that. So if you do, tell me. Put a comment down below. But anyway, that was it. So bye. Hey guys, I'm back. I wanted to do an update video on where I am in the 100-day thing and not that far along at all. I'm just doing the whole vegan diet still, which I'll talk about in a second, and I'm still trying not to smoke cigarettes. I wish I never started smoking because it's the hardest thing in the world for me to drop, and it certainly doesn't make me as sick as the benzo withdrawal, but it's like this nagging feeling. Like when I stopped smoking, it continued. So maybe it is because I'm not sure. But when I would inhale, I'd feel like this fiberglass like ripping through my bronchial tubes. And that continued until I went vegan. And then it still was there, but it was like less than what it was. Like almost within 48 hours, it was a little bit less of a problem for me. And now I can inhale without that tingling and fiberglass feeling. So I personally think it was the dairy products because I'm just kind of winging it right now and just having issues with the whole cigarette thing. So I'll update you eventually on all that. The vegan diet, very interesting thing. I have been doing it now for maybe a month or maybe a little under a month, a little over. I'm not really keeping track. I forget what day I started. I can go back on my videos to find out. But I used to wake up and have I thought it was from the cigarettes, okay? And because whenever I would drink milk or eat cheese, I would have a lot of problems. I was having issues anyway, even with my heart rate. If I drank whole milk, I would have my fast heart rate, like normal, only would skyrocket for like an hour. And so it was kind of like, an issue for me. My heart rate's really fast today, actually, faster than normal. Like I said, it's been fast anyway, but the only reason why I can think of that is weather changes seem to affect my body in a very negative way. I craved benzos. I just got violently sick when I stopped. And now with these, I crave them, I dream about them, and I go off the patch, I go back on the patch, I'm on the last dose of the patch, I go back up to the second step of the patch, and I'm back down, I take the patch off. And it's hard because I feel really crappy when I don't have nicotine, like extremely crappy. Right now I'm not wearing the patch, but I probably will later.